Hey, so I decided to do a auction video where I go through and show you what I'm looking for when I'm looking at a horse auction online. We've only actually purchased a horse online once. I did put in several bids in several different platforms, but I never won. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of how I do it and what I'm looking for. And we're going to start today with Fasig Tipton, which is one of the oldest thoroughbred auction houses in the country and one of the biggest. And they have money in-person sales at the auction house, but they also have a digital sale. So we're going to look at the digital sale, which just opened today. And the catalog was not posted previous to the opening, which is unusual. Usually you get a couple days to look at it before everybody starts bidding. But this is like a serious place for serious thoroughbred racehorse owners. In the digital sales, mostly what you're getting are young stock that aren't probably going to catch a really good price at an in-person auction, and broodmares. So today we're going to set some parameters for what we're looking for, and I'm going to be looking for a broodmare that could be used for sport horse breeding. So not to be bred with another thoroughbred, to be bred with a warm blood. So what we're looking for a large mare, 16 hands plus, relatively young, so one that's under 10 years old. We're looking for an experienced mother, so at least 3 foals, but I don't want one that has had an excessive amount. So anybody over 15 years old, they're going to have had 6, 7, 10 foals, and that's just really unfair to them to continue to breed them. We're also looking for ones that have really good conformation that would serve as a good sport horse, with a nice level top line, or uphill with a big shoulder and a long sweeping neck and the ability to collect. Hopefully you'd be looking for a mare that is still sound so that she could be ridden after her foals have been weaned. And it's hard to tell with these auctions because what you get is a walking video, so you're not quite sure if they're really sound or not. And their medical reports usually just say, yeah, they're okay. They don't really do x-rays or investigate if they've got like a severe malformation or significant injury, then they'll note it, but they usually don't. It's more for breeding health. Okay, so let's get started. Let's jump in here and look at what we've got. Horse of racing age, racing broodmare prospect, broodmare, and yearlings. So we're going to sort this into groups. And the first thing that comes up is Nyquist. So then you automatically think, oh my god, they're selling Nyquist the stallion. No, they're not. They're selling a no guarantee breeding season to Nyquist. You can see it's the first day, it's only just opened and it's already up to $75,000 for one breeding. So let's go in and look at him, and we're going to talk a little bit about how thoroughbred breeding works. As you can see, this is what it is. You get the one season to Nyquist, no guarantee. So that means if you don't get a living foal, that's it, your contract is over. You don't get to continue with it. He's booked for this year, so this is the only breeding you can get if you haven't gotten one already. He's one of the biggest sires there is right now. You can see his breeding, which is pretty substantial. Uncle Mo, Forestry, Seeking the Gold. He was an exceptional racehorse, and he's an even better stallion. So we're going to look into his stats here. And these are his race earnings over here. This is his pedigree, which is considerable. Sales analysis for his weanlings and yearlings. The winning percentage by all of his foals. And there he is, an attractive man. It's a little bit butt high, but they don't really care that much about that when they're racehorses. And his stud fee is $175,000. So what does that mean? That means in the thoroughbred world, they do it a little bit differently than everybody else. You only pay that money if your foal is born successfully. So you've got stands and nurses. If your mare does not get in foal, if the foal dies, is stillborn, you do not pay the money. You have to pay the money to register your foal, or you don't get the stallion breeding certificate to register your foal. So why on earth would anybody pay $175,000 for a foal? Because if you can keep that foal alive until it's a yearling and it makes it to the yearling sales, you can make over $1 million for one foal, because someone is going to buy it thinking that it's going to maybe win the Triple Crown. Okay, so let's go back to the list. All right, so broodmares usually come up first. They start with B. For some reason, they don't put very much information on these entries. You have to actually click in to see like how old they are, all the other information. One thing you do see is if they are currently pregnant, they will have a covering sire listed. And if they are not, they do not. That means that they are open and ready for breeding. So what I would be looking for is one that does not have a foal currently. It's very dangerous to travel a pregnant mare a long distance in their last trimester. And at this point in the year, January, most of them are days or weeks away from giving birth. So they really shouldn't be moved. It's not a problem for people that are in Lexington or anywhere around there because they're just down the road and they don't have to worry about it. So they can buy a mare that's just about to foal. Since I do not live in Kentucky, that's not what I would be doing. I would want one that's not pregnant. So let's go into Sweet Potato here. Check out her. First thing I'm going to do is look at her age. She is 15, so she's too old for me. Let's take a look at her pedigree here. She has a very good pedigree. She's got Pulpit, Stormcat, and Seattle Slew. This line down here is usually their weakest line, which is important to get a good line down here of really nice horses. Because for some reason, horses take more after their mother than their father. So you want to have a really nice mother to match up with the father. And she's 15. She only raced till she was 4, but she's only been bred 3 times. So what was she doing when she wasn't racing? It's unusual that they would keep a horse and keep a mare and not breed her. Maybe she was used as a riding horse for the family or something. Either way, she's too old, so we're going to skip back. And they're reordering here, which is great. And let's check out Lady Digger. She's a good looking mare. She's a little bit old, but not too bad. She's got a really nice balance. She's substantial. She's got a big, good shoulder and a nice neck. Let's go down and look at... I mean, she's got Stormcat, Mr. Prospector, and then she's kind of weak down here. Yankee Gentleman's not a great big-time sire. He didn't make very much, and he's not super popular. She was a good racehorse. She raced until she was 5. Made a lot of money. She's had 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6 breedings. That sounds pretty good. I don't see any abortions or dead foals. Let's check out how she looks. She's nice and long. She doesn't look like she's in any pain. I mean, I think maybe she's a bit sore on her right front. That's pretty typical for flat shod horse. You can see from back here, her udder is still quite full, so they must have taken this video right after they weaned her foal from this fall. I quite like her, so we're gonna give her a favorite, keep an eye on her. Oh, I'll go over here. Made on a mission. Oh, she's too old. She's 16. Just gonna skip right by her. I'm looking for ones that are not pregnant. Don't get a lot of detail here about her. Hard spun. Fleet Alex, those are nice. And down here is, I don't know anything about those. We're kind of weak there. Hard spun is a nice stallion. We see her, she was not a great racehorse. She ran till she was 4, so it's unlikely that she was injured. And she's had 2 foals by McLean's Music and aborted last year. So maybe she's got something going on. She's not a bad looking horse. She's more of a hunter type than a warm-bloody sport type. She looks like she's a sweet girl. She looks pretty sound. And I think probably she'd make somebody a really nice riding horse. I don't think she's quite what I'm looking for. Here we go, Aunt Sally. She's a little bit on the older side. She does have 1 bid already. She's got some good interest. Oh, she's 16.3½, which is nice. She's by Uncle Mo, who just passed away, so she's going to have a higher value since there will no longer be any more Uncle Mo babies. We've got Stormcat and Raisin Native. Those are nice. And she was unraced, so that could mean either she was injured before she began training, or she began training and didn't complete because she had an injury, or she was just really slow. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foals, which is a considerable amount. Let's go ahead and give her a check. She's a pretty good looking mare. She's got that classic thoroughbred size. She's got a big, nice chest. And for not being a riding horse, she's pretty fit. She doesn't look like she has any significant lameness. I like her. Put her on my list, even though she is a bit older. Let's check out Moe's Tavern. Again, here's another Uncle Mo daughter. Let's see. Her pedigree's not super great. We've got Carson City and With Approval, which isn't bad. They're not, you know. Another one who was unraced. She's only had 1 foal out of 3 breedings, which means maybe there's something going on in there. Let's give her a look. That's her filly. It was very downhill. This mare is... She looks more like a quarter horse than a thoroughbred to me. I think maybe if I was breeding to quarter horses, I would definitely go for her. But she looks pretty sound. And she looks pretty sweet. Pretty nice horse for somebody. There you go. Oh, Stormstar. Well, she's very pretty. Very well built. Lovely, nice uphill build. Good shoulder. Good neck. Very balanced. She's by Candy Ride. The Gone West mare, which is very good for sport horses. And Stormcat. She's got excellent breeding. She was broke to race. She won her only race. So that means she got injured. So there's no way they're not going to continue to run her if she won her first race. She's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foals, 3 of which died, which is not good odds. Which is probably why she's for sale. Well, let's take a look. She's a good looking mare. She moves well. She does not look like she's lame. She's a little bit tightrope walking here. I think that's just the way that her feet are trimmed. Yeah, I think she'd probably be worth the risk. We are gonna give her a star. Stormstar. Strange design. She's a little chunky, a little downhill. See, she's almost 16'3". She looks more like a pony by the way she's shaped. Ghost Zapper's pretty decent sire. And then we've got Danzig and AP Indy down here, which is nice. And she only had 2 starts. She was not a very good racehorse. She's had 1, 2, 3, 4. And aborted. So she's had 4 out of 5 breedings. Let's see how she moves. Yeah, she's just a bit downhill. Front feet are a little bit flappy. That might just be lack of fitness or not great trims. Yeah, I think her trimming isn't great. She's a little twisted looking. Sure, she's a love horse. Not what I'm looking for. Duke's gonna tap it. Oh, she's just a baby. She's not even really. She's a 3-year-old. See how butt high she is? She's still growing herself. She was bred to American Pharaoh in November, Southern Hemisphere season. Did not take. So she is, to them, she's technically a broodmare, even though she's not been pregnant. Just because she's been bred, she's still just a prospect in my eyes. She was good breeding, got Gone West there, Tappet, APND, Unbridled. Yeah, she wasn't a very good racehorse either. She did have one win, but we're going to pass on her. She's probably going to be a nice horse given another couple years to actually grow. Okay, Lily's Song, just by Liam's Map, who isn't quite the shape that I'm looking for. He usually makes more of a hunter shape front end. We got Two Punch and Skip Away. She was a good racehorse. She's had three foals, and she lost her foal last year. Judging from the belly, it looks like it was pretty late on. There might be a problem in there. Yeah, she's more of a long and low hunter type. And I'd be concerned about the fact that she's still got this belly. She looks pregnant. And they're saying that she's not, so there might be something going on. Alright, 10-year-old mare. Awesome Again is a nice stallion, but I don't know much about. Well, Big Drama is sprint horse. She was a good horse. $100,000. 1, 2, 3. Well, 2 out of 3. She's not a bad looking horse. Very classic thoroughbred. I don't like the way this looks. She's got some edema here along her midline. That could be something minor, or it could be something significant. She's got a wound on her forearm there. Maybe she had a bit of a fall or something and she clocked herself with her hoof, or maybe she's got something else going on in there. That kind of scares me. I'd have to pass on that. I said no. Oh, we got Curlin. Southern Halo. This is kind of weak. Alright, she's had one foal. She's not super experienced. She wasn't an awesome racehorse. See how she looks. She looks pretty stiff behind there. Oh yeah, look at that leg. Her hind leg swings out significantly. She's got a stifle injury. That horse is not rideable. She's very cute. Does not fit the parameters. What if I'd wonder, did we look at her? No? Shanghai Bobby. Cryptoclearance. She have 2 foals, that's good. She's kind of awkward looking. Maybe she looks better when she's moving. Yeah, she's not wowing me. She's a horse, she looks very sweet. Okay, I've made it through all the non-pregnant mares. And now we're into broodmare prospects. So we've got 3. We've got Stormstar, Aunt Sally, and Lady Digger. We're going to keep an eye on them, see how much they go for. Here we are on auction day, and the bids are done on about half of them. You can see the ones that didn't make their asking price. You can make an offer on them. And here, this is where we currently are. They have a bid up process. So when it gets down to the time, here's one right now. If somebody bids, it will start another minute. That one just sold. Let's look at this one since it's pretty expensive here. Yep, there's another bid just got added, and it up to 50,000, and it started another minute. So it's going to keep going as long as people keep bidding. Oh, Stormstar, here's our girl here. Yep, somebody just bid. Put her back up. And then go back up again. It's kind of an auction. You really got to just know what your maximum bid is and then stick to it. Or else you're just going to keep going up. Oh, there she goes. Sold for $1,800. Yeah, I really liked her. She did have the lip here. It wasn't. Things are going on inside her there, so she's a bit of a risk. Yes, I think she would have gone for a lot more money. Let's go down, find our other ones, see how they're doing. Aunt Sally, oh, she's up to 5,000. That's because she's a daughter of Uncle Mo. Oh, and Lady Digger was withdrawn. Yeah, this auction's going to go on for another 2 hours. Let's watch Aunt Sally. She's in her final minute here before she goes into the bid up. And she sold. I'm surprised. I thought she was going to go up some more. Well, let's take a look at her again. Refresh our memories. She's older, but she's big. And she has an excellent record of having babies, one after the other. Okay, the sale is over. And we already know what happened with our 2 mares. Stormstar sold for $1,800. Aunt Sally sold for $5,000. Normally my budget would be $2,000 for a broodmare, so Aunt Sally would be out of my price range, and it's probable that Stormstar would also be out of price range. She had at least 2 bidders, and they stopped right before 2,000, there's a good chance that they were going to go over 2,000. So probably she would have gone out of my price range as well. So there's still some for sale through the make an offer. So let's look and see what is left over. Highest price was $450,000 for a racehorse, Tuscan Sky. Let's just look at him just to see what he looks like. It's by Vino Rosso. It was by Curlin, Sky Mesa. Technically he's 4, but he's really only like 3 and a bit. He has earned $234,000 already. Let's go down to the bottom, which is where we want to be. All of these are sold. Alright, 2,000 is my cap. So we've got 2 yearlings in California. Both fillies, but they're not what I would want. So I'm not even going to look. And then we've got Chestnut Colt, which I don't want, also in California. And then we've got 2 Broodmare Prospect fillies. Ballet. She's actually not even named. This is her mother. She's not had a registration name. She's just turned 3, but not actually because she was born in April. So the first thing I notice is that she has one eye, which is not that uncommon, really. Horses' eyeballs stick out to the side, and they are notorious for hitting them on things. She's butt high, so she's still growing. She's got quite a belly on her. I doubt that she was in race training. If she was, she wasn't in for very long. Probably it isn't the eye that's the problem, honestly. Horses with one eye usually do pretty well. They're still quite rideable. You just have to be more aware. Don't really like... This knee is a little bumpy. So I don't know if maybe she had an injury to it, or it's just an awkward growth phase. Probably give it another year and she'll look pretty good. Minus the eye. She didn't have a lot of... Warfront and Giant's Causeway are good. This is kind of a... because he's an English horse. So that's why we don't know all that much about him. Yeah, she doesn't have any sort of race training on here. She might not have had any sort of undersaddle training. She doesn't look particularly muscular or fit, so it's probably not. We're going to go back and look at the other one. Tastes sweet. She looks like a yearling. She looks like she has a lot of growing to do. Cupid is pretty decent sire. Got with approval. Oh, Uruguay. So she has South American breeding. Her dam has South American breeding. She did race once. She did not place. So either she was really bad or she got hurt. Probably she was really bad for them to put her just right into a Broodmare Prospect. Well, she doesn't look lame at all. She just looks like she's young and growing. She's not a bad looking horse. She looks pretty good to me. So if I were going to try and make an offer, probably would get this chestnut filly. But then you have to worry about if she's actually going to be a good mother. Is she going to reject the foal? Is she going to have a problem getting pregnant? You'd have to take it slow with her, and of course she's still growing. So you might even wait until she was 4. Just let her finish growing and get her restarted under saddle. It would be an issue. But anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoyed watching and seeing kind of some insight into what I'm looking for and had a good time looking at the horses. I really enjoy doing this. If you want to see me do it again, give me a comment down below and let me know if you liked it and if you want to see a different kind of auction or which auction you want to see. Thanks for watching!